Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Teacher Marge and today we'll have partitive proportion. Okay, this is a series of proportion videos and this is the fourth video. Our first video is about proportion in general. The second one is about direct proportion. The third one is about inverse proportion. And lastly, we have partitive proportion. Okay, so if you haven't watched those videos yet, I suggest you go to my channel and look for those videos and you watch them kasi um, I have given some techniques, tips, and clues, hints that you may use for you to solve proportion problem easier. Okay, so without further delay, let's have our partitive proportion. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng partitive proportion? Okay, ganito yan. Kung ang direct proportion at saka ang inverse proportion has something to do with the manner by which these quantities either increase or decrease. Sa partitive proportion, hindi yun ang iniintindi natin. We do not pay too much attention to those um, kind of things. Okay? Yung pagtaas o pagbaba ng mga quantities. Kasi, in a partitive proportion, ang tinitingnan natin dito, we have a certain number which is cut into several parts. Okay, two or more parts. And these parts are proportional to each other. And when we say proportional to each other, merong basis ng pagkakaputol nun. Ang basis natin ay yung ratio na ibibigay. So, in a partitive proportion, there should exist a quantity that is divided into parts which are proportional to a given ratio. So, paano natin malalaman kung yung problem na binabasa natin or isosolve natin ay partitive proportion o hindi? Pag partitive proportion yan, ang unang-unang titignan ninyo, dapat nandoon yung divided into. Okay? So, yan ang titignan ninyo. Since pinuputol siya or hinahati siya. For that matter, there should be the phrase cut in the ratio. Okay? Nandoon dapat yung phrase na cut in the ratio. And then followed by a ratio. Whether this ratio has 2 terms, 3 terms, or more. Basta ang importante, nandyan yung clue phrase natin na cut in the ratio. Kung hindi naman yan cut in the ratio, any word that would substitute for the word cut. O halimbawa, yung divide, okay, or cut in the ratio. It can be replaced by the phrase divided into, kung ilang parts yun, tapos in the ratio, kung ano yung ratio. Okay? So, cut, divided, contributed, shared, group, kung tao yan, pwede. Okay? Any word that would have the same meaning as the word cut or divide, okay, would give you a hint whether the problem is a partitive proportion or not. Okay? And besides, partitive proportion involves quantities which are directly proportional. So, automatic yan. This would only involve directly proportional numbers. So, ibig sabihin, hindi yung mga, hindi siya inverse. So, ang mga involved na quantities dito, directly proportional. Ibig sabihin, kung yung ratio ninyo maliliit na number, kapag meron doon na lumaki na isa, kailangan the rest would go the same way. Lalaki din siya. Okay? So, let's now begin solving partitive proportion problem. Let's have our first problem for today. Okay. Our first problem is about a certain length of wire. Okay. Okay. A wire 30 meters long is cut in the ratio 2:3:5. How long is each piece? Okay, paano natin i-confirm kung ito ay partitive proportion? Una, we have the word cut. Okay? Ayun, yung word na cut. Cut in the ratio 2:3:5. Okay, o isa pang tip, kung hindi nyo makita yung word na cut, malamang-lamang kapag ang ratio na ibinigay sa inyo has more than 2 terms, partitive proportion yan. Okay? Pero, ang talagang pamigay na tip dyan, yung word na cut. Cut in the ratio 2:3:5, yung phrase na yon. So, this is a partitive proportion problem. So, how do we solve such a problem? Since we are asked to find how long is each piece, kailangan hanapin natin ano-ano yung length ng bawat isang piraso. Okay, each piece. Ang tanong, ilang piraso? Okay? So, doon sa una natin, a quantity is divided into proportional parts. Okay? Or parts proportional to a given ratio. Ibig sabihin nito, kung meron tayong ratio na 2:3:5, okay, 2:3:5, ilang terms yan? We have 1, 2, 3. Ibig sabihin, we have 3 pieces, okay, of the wire. Kasi meron tayong tatlong terms, okay? So, the number of terms would suggest the number of pieces or the number of parts. Okay, to consider. Okay, yan yung number ng terms. Okay, so let's now move on to solving the problem. A wire is 13 meters long, cut in the ratio 2:3:5. So, first, let's organize the given. It would be helpful kung gagamit tayo ng table. So, let's have a table here. We have our ratio and then the actual measurement. Okay, yung actual. Actual na lang lagay natin doon. And then, let's have the parts. Okay, dito yung parts natin. Or how many yung terms natin. So, we have 2:3:5. So, we have 2, 3, and then 5. Okay? And below that will be total. Yan, ganyan ang gagawin natin. So, to solve this particular problem. So, the first thing to do is to add our terms, yung 2, 3, and 5. So, 2 plus 3 plus 5, that is 10. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the wire is cut into 10 certain length. Tapos, yung dalawa doon, ibibigay natin dito, yung tatlo dito, yung 5 dyan. Okay? So, ganun yung pagkakahati niya. Now, what we're looking for is the actual measures of the wire, which is cut into 3 pieces. And, dun sa problem natin, we are given that the wire is 30 meters long. So, saan natin ilalagay yung 30 meters long? Dun yun sa actual measurement natin. So, 30. Okay? So, yung actual natin is in meters. Ay, hindi kita. Sorry. Baba natin. Okay. So, ganyan. Okay. Meters. The actual measurement is in meters. So, that is 30. So, ang hinahanap natin, ang tinatanong is how long is each piece. So, lahat itong tatlong ito ay question mark. Or, we can have variables for this. Or kung ayaw naman ninyo, let's stick to question mark. So, how do we solve this problem? First, the first step to solve the problem, okay, medyo ano to ha, wala tayong equation. Ang gagawin lang natin ay ganito. Since we have the total measure of the wire, or the actual length, the total length of the wire, which is 30 meters, we divide this total under actual by total do sa ratio. Okay, so that's 30 divided by 10. So we'll have 30 divided by 10. Okay, doon tayo mag-uumpisa. Dito, sa 30. 30 divided by 10. At ano ang lalabas? We'll have 3. Okay? Yung 3 na yan, yung 3 na yan will play an important role on the second step. Okay? Ang second step natin dyan, yung 3, this will act as our factor or our multiplier, yung 3. Kanino natin i-multiply yung 3? I-multiply natin yung 3 na yan sa bawat term ng ating ratio. Okay? So, this time, tanggalin muna natin yung question mark natin. Kukunin natin yung 3 na yan, the factor. We'll write it in red. Okay? Red, ha? So, we multiply it here. 2 times 3, 3 times 3, and 5 times 3. Okay? So, we carry out the process. Since ang tinatanong naman ay how long is each piece, so kailangan sagutin natin ang bawat isa. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. 3 times 3 is equal to 9. 5 times 3 is equal to 15. Okay? So, kung i-check natin yan, dapat ang total niya ay 30. So, 6 plus 9, that's 15, plus 15 is 30. Diba? So, what is now our answer? Our answer is 6, hindi lang 6 ha, meters. 6 meters, 9 meters, and 15 meters. So, how long is each piece? It's 6 meters, 9 meters, and 15 meters. Ito ngayon yung ating sagot sa ating problem. So that's how you solve a partitive proportion problem. Okay, hindi tayo gumamit ng masyadong komplikadong equation. Ang ginamit lang natin ay table. Okay, let's move on to our second problem. Erase this one. Erase natin to. Okay, our second problem says, 3 numbers are in the ratio 2 is to 4 is to 5. If the sum of these numbers is 121, what is the largest number? So again, we have 3 ratios which are in the ratio 2 is to 4 is to 5. Pansinin ninyo, wala dyang word na cut or divide or whatever. Pero ang clue natin dyan ay yung 2 is to 4 is to 5. Okay, so it's a partitive proportion problem. So let's prepare our table. We have our ratio. And then we have our actual column. Okay. And then there are 3 numbers. So dapat meron din tayong tatlong rows for each number. And then yung pang-apat natin will be the total. Okay? So, yan. Total. So, let's list down our ratio. 3 numbers are in the ratio 2 is to 4 is to 5. Okay? If the sum of these numbers is 100, excuse me, if the sum of these numbers is 121. Okay, 121. Sum daw yon ng mga numbers. Ano ba yan? Sum ng ratio or sum ng actual? Yon ay sum ng actual. Okay? So, dito natin ilalagay yung 121. Okay? Now, to fill in the table, our next thing to do at mas ano natin, isa-isa natin. Pinill up natin yung ratio, then we get 121. Yan yung mga given sa problem. Next would be to move on to what is asked. What is the largest number? So, dito, ang tinatanong, hindi lahat. So, hindi natin kailangan yan. Ano lang ang kailangan natin? Ang kailangan lang natin daw ay yung largest number. So, paano natin malalaman kung alin ang isosolve natin? Yung, syempre, titingin tayo dun sa ratio. Since we are asked of the largest number, then it's a direct proportion, ha? Direct proportion ng mga terms na to at saka yung mga numbers. So, meaning to say, kung largest number ang hinahanap, hindi 2, hindi 4, kung hindi 5. So, etong column na to yung pagkukunan natin ng sagot. Kasi, this is the largest term. So, it would follow, it would give you the largest number dun sa actual na. Okay? So, tapos na yung ating pag-organize ng data ng ating problem. Let's now move on to our solution part. So, first na isosolve natin yung total ng ratio. So, 2 plus 4 plus 5 is equal to 11. Okay, lagyan natin ng ibang kulay. 11. Okay, ano nga ang gamit ng 11 natin? Ipang-divide natin sa 121. So, 11 will now be our divisor. So, let's move on here. 121 divided by 11 is equal to, okay, usog tayong konti, hindi makikita, sorry. 121 divided by 11 is equal to 11. Okay? Yung 11 na yan yung ating factor. Okay? Kagaya ng nauna, since factor siya yung ipang-multiply natin. But since the problem asks you to solve for the largest number, meaning yung 5 lang ang i-multiply natin sa 11. Okay, so 5 times 11. Lagyan natin dyan yan. What is 5 times 11? It's 55. So what is now our final answer? Our final answer is 55 is the largest number. Okay? So yan yung ating sagot. 55. Okay. Bakit hindi na natin sinolve yung 2 at saka 4? Kasi hindi naman siya tinatanong na. Okay? So, mas convenient yan. Mas tipid sa effort and ink. So, diretso tayo dun sa what is asked. Now, let's move on to our third problem. The perimeter of a quadrilateral is 120 centimeters. And the sides are in the ratio 3:2:5:5. Find the length of the shortest side. Okay? Anong clue natin dito? Wala tayong word na cut. Okay? Wala tayong word na divided. Pero meron tayong ratio 3:2:5:5. So we have 4 terms in our ratio. So it's a partitive proportion problem. Plus, we also have the word perimeter. What do we mean by perimeter? Perimeter is the total distance around a polygon. Okay? So this is a partitive proportion. So let's have our table. We have the ratio. And then this time we'll have sides. Okay? Actual sides. Okay? And then, we fill in now the table with the number of terms that we have based on our problem. It's 3:2:5:5. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yung panghuli natin, that will be total. Okay, total yan. Now, let's fill in this with numbers. Let's begin with our ratio. 3:2 is to 5 is to 5. So, under the ratio column, we have 3:2 is to 5 is to 5. So, a quadrilateral has 4 sides. O, di ba? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. May apat tayong terms. Bukod doon, it says there, the perimeter of the quadrilateral is 120 centimeters. And perimeter is the total distance around a polygon. So, dito tayo pupunta dyan sa actual size. This will be 120 centimeters. So, lagyan na natin ng label kasi hindi natin nilagyan ng label unit of measure doon. Lagyan na natin ng unit of measure dito. Okay? Now, let's begin solving our problem, prioritizing what is asked. So, ang sabi dyan, bakit naka-question mark yan? Okay? Baguhin natin yan. Wait lang po. Okay. Sorry. Find the length of the shortest side. Alin ang shortest side? If the ratio comes as 3:2 is to 5 is to 5, what is the shortest side? Siyempre, yung shortest side, yung smallest term. Okay? Which is 2. Ito yung shortest. Okay. Yan ang hinahanap natin, yung shortest. So, eventually, ito lang yung i-multiply natin mamaya. Okay? Now, let's begin computing. First, for the total of the terms. 3 plus 2 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. So, that means yung actual natin na perimeter, yung total natin, which is 120, 120, divide that by 15. This will be equal to 8. Okay? And this 8 is now our factor. Okay? Factor. So, ang hinahanap lang natin ay yung shortest. So, yung 2 lang yung ating i-multiply dun sa factor na nakuha natin. So, 2 times 8. And what is 2 times 8? That is 16. Anong unit ng 16? It's centimeters. So, our final answer will be 16 centimeters is the shortest side. Okay? Yan yung ating sagot. Okay, so as you can see in a partitive proportion, hindi necessary na isolve ninyo lahat yan. Ang kukunin lang ninyo ay yung kailangan ninyong isolve. So for this particular problem, yung shortest side ang hinahanap, yung smallest term ang gagamitin natin. Kanina, ang ginamit natin yung largest do sa second problem. Kasi yun lang naman ang tinatanong. Sa first problem naman, ang hinanap natin ay yung lahat. 'Di ba? Kasi ang tanong doon is how long is each piece? So that's all for today for the partitive proportion problem. Along the way, you would encounter a harder partitive, a more difficult partitive proportion problem. But basically, ganyan lang siya isosolve. Okay? Pwede kasi kayong itanong, halimbawa, what is the sum of the lengths of the shortest and the largest side? O pwede yun. So, ibig sabihin, you need to be flexible with regards to what is asked in the problem. So, whenever you solve problems, make sure what you're doing is going to give you the correct answer for whatever is asked in the problem. So, do not make any unnecessary computation kasi masasayang lang yung effort ninyo. So, try to figure out which how are you going to arrive at the correct answer? Ganun lang yan. Okay? So, keep in mind, you need to answer what is asked. So, those numbers which are unnecessary, okay lang yun na hindi ninyo competent. Kagaya na nakita natin dito, blanco yung tatlo kasi hindi naman natin yan kailangan. Okay? So, God bless everyone. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, give this a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so you could be notified if there are new maths video lessons available for viewing. Thank you.